Hello students. We have been discussing the concepts of amplitude modulation, and the amplitude modulated wave is given as where the carrier wave is defined as and let's say MT is the baseband signal or the message signal or low frequency. So this is the amplitude modulated wave. The definition of the amplitude modulated wave. Now, rewriting this signal, it will be AC cos 2 pi fc into t plus AC times of Ka into MT times cos 2 pi fc into t. Now one thing to observe here is that the message signal in the amplitude modulated wave is contained in this part of the signal. This component of the amplitude modulated signal, we are not interested in this component of signal. All we are interested in the message signal, and the message signal is contained in this component of the modulated wave. Hence we can observe that, and let's say if we draw if we represent the same signal on the frequency domain, let's say this is our this is the message component, one thing to observe here is that the amplitude modulated wave contains the message signal frequency as well as this component of the signal, which is again the carrier frequency. So this signal is not required. But during the amplitude modulated wave transmission, both these components are being transmitted. Hence we can say that the AM wave the amplitude modulation is wasteful of transmitted power because an extra component whose power will be given as AC square by 2 is being transmitted. So its efficiency is very less. As we have also seen that the power efficiency of the AM modulated wave is given by mu square by 2 plus mu square. At mu is equal to 1, the efficiency is 33% at max, which is the maximum value of the modulation, which is very less. Hence we can say AM amplitude modulation is not power efficient. The second point about the amplitude modulation is about the sideband transmission. See, this is the upper sideband, as we know, and let's say this is the lower sideband, and we can see this both lower sideband and the upper sideband are symmetric to each other. You can write a point here is that both lower sideband of the message signal and upper sideband are related to each other by virtue of symmetry. That means if we have the knowledge of any one sideband, we can easily determine the other sideband because they are symmetrically related to each other. That is the total bandwidth at the receiver end. If we want to obtain the message signal, we have to apply a filter. We have to apply a band pass filter whose bandwidth, you can see, whose bandwidth must be 2 times of the maximum frequency contained in the message signal. But since if we have the information of one of the sidebands, let's say upper sideband whose bandwidth is, if we see its bandwidth is fm minus 0 is equal to fm only. So if we have the information of one bandwidth, we can determine the other bandwidth as well. But in case of amplitude modulated wave, 2 times of bandwidth is transmitted. Then one more limitation here about the amplitude modulated wave is that AM is wasteful of transmitted bandwidth. Because we can easily determine the signal once we know one of the sidebands. We don't need to travel to transmit both the sidebands at once, because in that case the bandwidth requirement will be more, which will increase the cost of the system. Hence, these are the limitations. First one is the amplitude modulated wave is not power efficient, and second thing, it is wasteful of transmitted bandwidth. So to overcome these limitations, certain other forms of amplitude modulations, amplitude modulated signals are there. These are double sideband, suppressed carrier modulation, second one is single sideband, suppressed carrier modulation, and one more is vestigial sideband. So let's start our discussion with the double sideband suppressed carrier. In short, we write as DSP SC modulation, that is double sideband suppressed carrier modulation. Now the amplitude modulated wave is given as, right now we are talking about the AM wave, AC times of 1 plus Ka, where all the symbols are known quantities. So this is the equation for amplitude modulated wave. Now, as we know, this quantity or this component of the amplitude modulated wave is not required. All we are interested in that component of wave which contains the message signal. Then with the help of DSP-SC modulation, we are not transferring this wave, all we are doing is transferring this component of the wave. Thereby, DSP-SC system is more power efficient than the amplitude modulated system. Then we can define the DSP-SC wave, the DSP-SC modulated wave as simply AC times of AC times of message signals. That means the message signal is simply multiplied with the carrier wave. So let's say this is our low frequency message signal. And let's say this is the carrier frequency. Then what we are doing? We are multiplying the message signal with the carrier frequency. Then the resultant DSP-SC wave will be the multiplication of these two waves. So it will be represented as let's say this is let me draw a dotted line. So this will be the representation of the double sideband suppressed carrier wave. And this will be the envelope will contain the message signal. Now one thing to observe here is that at the point when empty becomes 0, there is a phase reversal. Phase reversal is observed in the modulated wave. Hence, since there is phase reversal is observed here, that means the envelope of ST is not same as the message signal. Hence, we cannot apply the method of envelope detection. So as we saw in the previous lecture that for the purpose of detection or the reconstruction of the message signal from the modulated wave at the receiver side, we had applied a very simple capacitor circuitry called the envelope detector. But we cannot apply the same method here for the purpose of detection. The reason is there is phase reversal. The envelope is not going the same as the message signal. That is why we cannot apply the method of envelope detection here. So suppose this is once again writing the wave here ST given as this is the modulated DSP-SC wave. So if we do the frequency domain representation, because we can see, let's say if, let's try it again. Let's say MT has a Fourier transform capital MF, let's say it is a low frequency, a baseband signal which has the same representation as we have been discussing earlier. Let's say this is M0. Then MT, the ST signal will be MT times of cos 2 pi FCT. Then writing in exponential form, we can write e to the power j 2 pi FCT plus e to the power minus j 2 pi FCT upon 2. So in the frequency domain we can write, because the signal is multiplied by an exponential complex exponential term, then we will observe frequency shifting, and it will be given as, in frequency domain it will be M F minus Fc plus m f plus Fc 1 by 2. So this is nothing but SF, the frequency domain representation of the DSP-SC modulated wave. So representing this, let's write here DSP-SC. So this SF is just the message signal shifted by the central frequency Fc, which will be represented here as and on the negative side this is SF DSP SC, and its value will be m0 by 2 . So as you observe here is that no carrier frequency Fc is present. No additional carrier frequency is present, which makes this modulation more efficient compared to the AM wave. Let's say we compare it with the frequency domain representation of the AM wave. Let's do the comparison. If say this is the frequency domain representation of the amplitude modulated wave, in that case we will have an additional frequency term at the corner, at the central frequency, in time domain. If you write the amplitude modulated wave as so you can see here an additional term is present here, which is indicated using an impulse function. But here you can see no carrier frequency is present. So writing the same for DSP-SC, simply AC times of so this is how DSP-SC is more efficient than the amplitude modulated wave, but it gives no advantage when it when it comes to the bandwidth transmission. But once again, if you see, in order to, at the receiver end, once again you have to apply a band pass filter whose bandwidth will be 2 times of the maximum frequency present in the message signal. Similarly here also, 2 times of FM is required. So we can write here is one point that ST, DSP, SC is power efficient than the amplitude modulator, but gives no advantage in terms of bandwidth, because bandwidth of the amplitude modulated wave, the amplitude modulated transmission is same as the bandwidth of DSP SC, which is equal to 2 times of FM, or 2 times of the maximum frequency present in the message signal. Once again, DSBSC is given as AC times of now you can see what we require here is, in order to generate, let's write a point here as generation of DSP SC wave. So what we are doing here is that the message signal is multiplied to the carrier. So what we are doing is, we are simply multiplying the message signal with the carrier, and then we will pass through a band pass filter centered around the frequency FC, to obtain the DSP SC wave. Now one of the methods regarding the generation of the DSP-SC wave is known as, or the one that we will be discussing here is the balanced modulation technique. So in terms of block diagram, we can present this technique. So this is the block diagram of the balance modulation technique. We are using two amplitude modulators that are kept in a balanced form. That is why the name balanced modulation technique. So let us say the S1T that we observe, that we get here is, since right now we are applying amplitude modulation technique, then the amplitude modulated wave we will obtain here is, and let's say the local oscillator Ct is given as Ac times of cos 2 pi Ct. The local oscillator is generating the carrier frequency that is being applied to both the amplitude modulators, and we have already studied about the amplitude modulation generation, the amplitude modulated wave generation. So we are just representing this in terms of block diagram. So S1T will be given as, let's say, the upper portion of this block diagram is channel 1. Let's call it as channel 1, and we are interested to obtain S1T, the amplitude modulated wave. And since this is an AM wave, let's call it as AM. So it will be simply given as AC times of and for channel 2, here first the message signal is phase shifted by 180 degree and then passed on to the AM modulator. So S2T will be, that is also AM wave only, that will be AC times of 1, since there is a phase shift by 180 degree, then it will be minus Ka amplitude times of cos 2 pi Fc into T. Now what we are doing? We are subtracting both signals. That means S1T minus S2T. Then ST DSP S3 we will be given as S1T minus S2T. This will be subtracting these two signals, will obtain DSP signal as 2 times of AC Ka times of MT to cos 2 pi Fc into T. Ka, as you know, we have already discussed, this is the voltage sensitivity. Right, now we can see we have obtained a DSP-SC signal, which is simply the multiplication of the carrier wave with the message signal. This is the balanced modulation technique for the generation of DSP-SC wave.